Mother, mother, there's too many of you crying. Brother, 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 there's far too many of you dying. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving here today. Father, Father, we don't need to escalate. Oh, not the answer, for only love can conquer. You know we've got to find a way to bring some loving. Oh, yeah. Take it light, take it sight. Punish me with brutality. Talk to me, honey, so you can see what's going on. What's going on? Hey, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. Ooh, come on, man. Woo.
What's up, everybody? This is Ty Causey, and you're listening to CRBJ Classic R&B Jams Radio with my main man, DJ Music. So
Alrighty there. Good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime, right time DJ Music, and welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. Y'all see what the title says. Is Chivalry dead? And if it is, who killed it? Well, you know how things happen on the YouTube streets there, ladies and gentlemen. You go into somebody's stream, and the next thing you know, it ends up in your algorithm. So a couple weeks ago, I wandered over into a DjHamp stream. It's called It Might Be Risky, or This Might Be Risky, I do believe so. And of course, now it ends up in my algorithms. So this particular stream came up in the algorithms to where I won't call him my arch nemesis, but I'll just call him a guy that I completely disagreed with on a lot of things. Talking about the Angry Man and him, Angry Man, and DjHamp. They was on a panel with 8 women talking about chivalry. So I listened to it, and I was like, wait a minute. None of the shit that these two dudes are saying makes sense. The women are making more sense about chivalry than they are. Now, you call me old-fashioned, call me what you like to, but let's take a look at what chivalry really means before we jump into this stream. Because the definition that an Angry Man and DjHamp is going to give you, and the argument they put up about chivalry, is something completely different. I'm not going to hold you folks here too long. The stream itself is about, you can go to DjHamp, This Might Be Risky, and check out the entire stream. Or, you can check out this little 30-minute link here. I'm not telling you to like, subscribe to his channel, whatever. That's up to you. But if you want to see that this stream that we're going to chop up here, the 30-minute segment, if you want to see that in its entirety, then get on over to DjHamp at This Might Be Risky. Like, share, subscribe, do what you want to do over there. I'm not telling you to, not asking you to, but I'm just letting you know who we're reviewing. In this case, This Might Be Risky. And they were talking about chivalry. So I said to myself, I don't agree with what they're saying about what chivalry is. So let me go, before I jump onto this stream, because I always like to do my research to make sure what's in my brain housing group matches what I'm about to talk about. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at this right here. The age of chivalry. Says the code of chivalry knights pledges an oath to uphold, to fear God, and maintain his church. to serve the Lord in valor and faith, to protect the weak and defenseless, to give successor assistance to widows and orphans, to refrain from the wanting givings of offense, to live by honor and for glory. I'm kind of, I should have had my glasses on while reading this because the print's kind of small. It's not that I should take up the Evelyn Woodhead sped reading course, but I'm just kind of squinching here a little bit. To fight for the welfare of all, to obey those placed in authority, to guard the honor of fellow knights. So you see so far what chivalry is defined as. But you're going to hear Angry Man and you're going to hear DjHamp completely disagree with that definition. They're going to give their own scenario of what they believe chivalry is. Well, I'm here to correct you, fellas. I most certainly am. Sometimes you have to correct folks that don't know what they're talking about. Hey, Gigi, how you doing? Thank you for stopping in. But anyway, folks, without further ado, now again, I want you to listen to what these guys' definition of chivalry is. And we'll stop it when we need to. But let's go ahead and kick it off. Like I said, I'm not going to hold you very long. We're going to run through this, and I'll stop it when I need to.
I'm here to answer the question because y'all ladies don't know what chivalry.
I have a question. Apparently, we don't know nothing. Go ahead, tell us.
Why are y'all bombarding?
Right, here it is. He automatically comes on the panel. He says he's here to answer the question because y'all ladies don't know what chivalry is. And automatically he's getting pushed back. Automatically, you're I guess, Angry Man, what I'll say to that is your reputation precedes you wherever you go. But I'm not here to bash you today. I'm not here to really talk about you. I'm just here to point out the incorrectness of what you and DjHamp was talking about.
Part of him. Can the man answer the question?
He came up here early. That's why I'll be bombarding.
Wait, no, I have a quick question about
That's
chivalry.
what I do. I show up early. You feel me?
Shit like that. Shit like
In fact,
that.
where I come from, there's no such thing as early. There's only on time or late.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
Okay, brother.
Yeah, anyway.
Go ahead, Angry Man.
I think she said she wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
I guess that was one of those mic drop
Can
moments.
saving, like, is a captain save a hoe or saving a broken person? Does that go under chivalry? Or does it go? It's not a. What does that go under? Saving a broken person? Because
it can.
Okay.
Goes on a boat.
So you guys be saving broken people?
No, the problem is the definition. Okay, so the part y'all had right is it did start in medieval times, the knights, but it got refined in the Victorian age.
No.
Okay.
We know
First,
I'm glad
let's go ahead and stop that right there. It didn't get refined. Chivalry was created by knights. It is a code amongst knights. It did not get refined. It got revamped into something completely different as being a knight became more symbolic than it is. Then you see the guys run around jousting and walk around in armored suits. So it did not get refined. It got revamped into something completely different. The meaning, it was changed because of there was no such thing as the Knights of the Round Table anymore. It was a code by knights. We saw that in the beginning, and if you folks need to see it again, I'll pull it up on the screen. But let's let him talk a little bit more.
So speed it up. Get up. We gotta get on the same. We gotta get on this.
Steph.
Oh, my bad, angry man. Oh, I don't want to get what the love gonna get.
You see how he came on here and look at his face. He gonna come for you next. He's
Right.
up here for love.
Angry man, she is not. She don't even have. I had to make her download the YouTube app. She don't know nothing about none of this shit.
Oh, who?
You.
Oh, me? I saw Angry Man. Him and Love was going at it on the episode. I was like, oh, he going at it like
You gotta
that.
give me. You gotta give me time to get it out. You gotta let me collect my thoughts.
Oh, my bad. You that type of man. You that type of man. Text time.
Yeah.
My
yes.
bad. My bad.
All right, Steph. Let the man talk.
So basically, what y'all are talking about with a guy opening the door, that's just common decency. All right, like chivalry encompasses a bunch of different things, and if you're not doing all of those things, you're not considered chivalrous or what we would call a gentleman. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like with women who don't function a certain way. Technically, they shouldn't be called a lady. You feel what I'm saying? It's a certain way. Like, for instance, I'll give you a prime example.
See, here's the problem that I always have. Chivalry has nothing to do with how a woman acts. Have you ever met a female knight, folks? Have you? Can you go back into medieval times, other than Joan of Arc, and find me a female knight? You cannot. And if you don't, it's a rarity. I would, if someone can go find me a female knight, then I'll be satisfied with that. But as far as my education is concerned, I've never known one. The closest that I've known to come to one was Joan of Arc. This is chivalrous is a code amongst knights, amongst men, and you heard me read it earlier. Has nothing to do with how women act. It's everything to do with how men act. Hey, Gigi. I see you peeking in.
Example, if let's say for argument's sake that somebody were to disrespect Hamp's wife or put their hands on Hamp's wife, if you're a chivalrous dude, that dude gotta go. And I don't mean beat up. I mean, gotta go.
Is it the Lord?
That's yes.
Well, basically,
that's chivalry.
No, that's not chivalry. Hold on just a second. Let me go back up and let me pull this up again. He said that was chivalry. To pretty much, he got to go. So y'all know what he meant without me saying it. Y'all know exactly what he meant, right? You got to go. Somebody is disrespecting your wife. Back in the older days, that meant you had to go. You had to go, right? So let's take a look at this chivalry thing right here. Let's look at this again, okay? Let me go to my bigger screen so I can read it a little bit better. Okay. To fear God and maintain his church, to serve the Lord in valor and faith, to protect the weak and the defenseless. That negates your argument right there, angry man. That negates your argument, your entire argument right now. Anything you say after that particular statement is null and void. Because you're talking about offing somebody because he was disrespecting your wife. How is that living up with honor and glory? Fight for the welfare of all. If you would have said that, because a man that's virtuous, a man that's chivalrous will protect the weak, whether he knows the female or not, whether he knows the person that's being bullied or not. That's what knights do. This is their creed. This is their code of honor right here that you're looking at on the screen. And so far, in what you see here, do you see, other than the bottom of this screen, get close to the bottom, where it says to respect the honor of women? That's the only time in this Knight's Creed that women is mentioned. That's the only time. So where we at, angry man? Let's get on back to you yapping it up, okay?
Okay.
Like if you disrespected, like let's say for argument's sake that a dude was engaged to a woman, he's courting this woman. That's part of chivalry too, is actually courting a woman, right? So let's say he's courting this woman and some other dude, you know, tries to kiss her or grabs on her or something like that. In the Victorian age, the dude would take his glove off and he'd slap him with it, which meant the next day they had to do a gun duel and somebody was gonna die. Somebody was done. It was a wrap. So
again,
when y'all are talking about chivalry, like y'all are talking about little components.
Wait a minute. Be quiet, Angry Man. Y'all saw what I just read. Now tell me what part of what Angry Man just said coincides with being chivalrous. Slapping somebody with a glove, challenging them to a duel. And if you don't know, Angry Man, with the way the knights, when they solved their disputes by jousting, they rode on horses with them big long sticks. And when you got knocked off your horse, that means you lost. It wasn't challenging folks to duels back over there. Again, chivalry got revamped into something. It was not refined. It got revamped into something. Its meaning got changed over the years because of men, not because of women. We'll get into that later on. But let's continue with you, Angry Man.
Of it, but it's way more serious than that. Like a dude that's considered a chivalrous dude, one is a dude that will never, under any circumstances, strike a woman. That's one. The other thing is, if you were to disrespect a woman around him that's a lady, he's gonna ask you to go step outside. If it's his fiance, his wife, it's gonna be a gun duel. If it's just a regular lady that's there and you're disrespecting her, he's gonna want to fight you. And so nowadays, when dudes look at chivalry, they also associate it with simping.
And then again, how is protecting? 100%. How is protecting? I noticed when Angry Man said that DjHamp threw his thumbs up, like, yeah, you're right about that. So let me ask you, DjHamp and Angry Man, how does being chivalrous conflate or equate to being a simp? Does not make sense. I don't understand. What's up, Sock Passe? How you doing, good brother? What I don't understand, my man, the definition that you're giving is absolutely, completely incoherent. It's just the ramblings of someone who absolutely don't know what they're talking about. And here you have 2, 4, 6, 8 women on the panel. 8 women on the panel listening to one dude trying to explain to you what chivalry is and has no coherent idea of what he's talking about. None.
They said that the married man is the ultimate simp.
Yeah.
Let that make sense. The married man is the ultimate simp.
I don't think we.
Let that make sense. The married man is the ultimate simp. Let that make sense. A man that has responsibilities, a man that has children, a man that has a job, a man that's taking care of his wife, a man that's taking care of his home, a man that does everything he can to prosper. That's being a simp. Let that make sense. And again, I ask you ladies, why do y'all go up on these panels? To hear stuff like this, to prove these guys wrong, you're never gonna convince them that they're wrong about anything. You know why? Because, and let him tell it, they got the numbers. Because all these folks come to my chat room and listen to me. Hey, Letitia, I hope I'm saying it right. Letitia, how you doing, Miss Lovejoy? Good to see you. But yeah, listen, how do you say that you are a virtuous man on one day, or you're a man of chivalry on one day, you're screaming at women, and then the next day, you're trying to tell women, 8 women in this particular panel, what chivalry is. Chivalry is not a switch that you can flip on and off. Being chivalrous is not something that you can choose to do. It's inbred in you. It's hardwired in you. Chivalry is more than opening the door for a female that you know or a female that you don't know. It's almost like the Marine Corps. It's like a code of honor. It's a code of ethics. So you tell me which part of being a married man would exclude you from being righteous, from being chivalrous, and turn you into a simp. Angry man? DjHamp? Because I'm sure the ladies is about to give y'all some pushback.
I think a lot of men are inspirations.
Can I ask a question, Angry Man? Can that be perceived from a man's perspective and a woman's perspective being different?
What as far as what?
As far as chivalry, and again, you're deriving from what it was into, because obviously today you can't just off a man because he disrespected. Now there are some men that will, but what I'm saying is it is not culturally acceptable to do that because of the consequences. Is it different? Is the man's point of view of chivalry different than a woman?
It's not only, Miss Lady, not only is it not culturally acceptable, it's not legal. Back in those times, you could challenge someone to a duel. It was legal to do that. It had nothing to do with chivalry. If a man felt that he was disrespected in some way, or regarded whether it was a woman, let's take this back from modern times to back in the old days. Modern times, if you go into a club right now and your boy got on some brand new Nikes, white Nikes, somebody steps on them with some bro gangs and leave a spot on them. Some niggas gonna want to fight. Some niggas gonna want to shoot. And some men gonna say, oh, man, it ain't no worry about it. Man, I got another pair. I'll just dust these off. But back in the olden days, you could say, hey, man, no, you got to go outside. Pull out your gun. I challenge you to a duel. It was legal back then. It's not legal now to challenge someone to a duel. Angry man. Hamp. Don't let these ladies embarrass y'all. And they are.
Performance.
No. Because it's a code. It's a code that the man lives by.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The code that you all live by, we may not fully be privy to, right? So when we look at it, we're looking at it like how we described it, how it's being courteous or whatever the case is, where you are looking at it as it is a code that all men should be living by.
Well, I'm not saying that all men should. It just depends on who the man is. Like, I'm not saying that all men should live by that strict code, but what I'm saying is women, y'all are going to look at it the way you look at it, and men are going to do it. You know, they're going to engage in that if they engage, and I'm pretty sure they do it also because they love the woman, or the woman is a family member or something like that. But I don't think it makes it different because y'all look at it different.
Be quiet. Be quiet. Again, word salad. Nothing he said made sense. Did y'all get anything out of that last conversation? A bunch of and therefore and I thinks. Nothing of substance. Nothing that made any sense. Nothing of coherent sense to what he just said. Nothing. Again, chivalry is something that's hardwired in you. It's like opening doors, regardless of whether you know the woman or not. It's like giving if you're caught in the rain, you see a woman running around without an umbrella and you have one, offer to get under the umbrella with you. Or if you see a woman coming out of the store picking up something heavy. That's all part of being virtuous, being a chivalrous man, being a man that's hardwired. It's not something that's can you be taught that? Yes, but it's something that it's in you or it's not.
makes sense. I think it's still the same thing. You know what I'm saying? In fact, when we're really being totally honest, women in this day and time still expect men to be chivalrous. Y'all still expect it. If somebody was to do something crazy to you and you with your man, your husband, boyfriend, or whatever, you expect them to knock his lights out.
That's
Exactly.
not being,
So the question is,
that's not being chivalrous. To go and beat somebody up, that's called defending your wife's honor. It's not being chivalrous. You're conflating the two. There's a big difference between getting into a altercation with someone because someone disrespected somebody in your family as to the way you carry yourself on a daily basis. Being chivalrous does not mean that you know the person. It's almost like random acts of kindness that men do. Again, I'll go back to medieval times. I want y'all to go find me the closest woman that you could find to being a knight. And I do believe, if memory serves me correctly, it would be Joan of Arc. And King Arthur in the Knights of the Round Table. Was there any women on Knights of the Round Table? The Knights Templar, the Crusades, or any of those knights, women. Can a duke be a woman? Can an earl be a woman? They have certain titles for certain genders, especially back in those days. But let's continue with some more word salad from the angry man, because he seems to dominate this conversation.
dead. Who killed it? The man?
Women?
If we still expect it,
How?
and how did
Is
we?
it a gender thing or is it a generation?
Women killed it.
Right. Listen to his definition to how women killed chivalry. Killed chivalry. Men dealt a defining blow to what. Here's what Angry Man is saying. This is the scenario. I'm walking into the store and I see a young lady coming out the door. I open the door for the young lady and she passes me and don't say thank you or good morning. Some men will be upset about that and will never open a door for another woman as long as they live. They choose not to be a chivalrous man anymore based on that one particular time that woman did not acknowledge the fact that he opened the door. But a chivalrous man, a virtuous man, does not look for accolades. Am I correct? You don't do something expecting a reward. That's the chivalry of men. That's who we are. That's what we're hardwired to do. If I see a woman coming through a door, it's just innate in me not to to hold that door open for that woman. That's just bottom line to it. And you're going to hear me say this a couple more times, but no, there's no way in God's green earth can you blame. First of all, chivalry ain't dead. I practice it every day. The men around me practice it every day. So chivalry ain't dead. It's dead in some men's eyes, men like Angry Man. Because I guarantee you, if you was at a grocery store, if you was at Wally World and Angry Man saw you, you wouldn't get no door open there. He wouldn't help you with your groceries. He'd go on about his business.
Women killed it. Maybe not you, but the women that said, I don't need nobody to open the door for me, or I can take care of myself. I don't need to be rescued. That's what killed it.
But
I like what Yana just said. She said, "Is it a gender thing, like generational thing?" I like that.
I think I'm not to knock. I'm the youngest here, and I'm 22. So I don't think that the men, or the young men, boys of my generation, they don't do much courting anymore. It's like,
of course not.
You want Netflix and chill, or you want Link and smoke. It's never like, can I take you out to get to know you? that
they're
doesn't
not
happen
taught.
anymore.
They're not, because they're not taught. Like when we're talking about, see, that's the crazy thing. When you look
Right.
at,
So is it the generation because their fathers and their fathers or uncles didn't teach it? So is it the generations that just messed it up? I don't think that'd be a gender thing.
It's a couple of things, because you got what you're not taught growing up, but you also have your desire not to do it. If you're not taught something growing up, you can still learn it. They still sell books on etiquette and all types of shit. So it's a combination of the two. But yeah, most of the kids nowadays, most of the younger dudes nowadays, they're not going to do stuff like that because they were not taught that growing up. So yeah, you're right.
Again, I'll agree with some part of what you just said, Angry Man. I'll give you that part. You can go out and find ways to become a better person through books, magazines, or in some cases even by having conversations with others. Yes, but I don't think, just me personally, I think being chivalrous is it's an environmental thing, because you see other men doing it, not necessarily men in your family, but because you see other men holding the door open for a lady coming through a door, or you see men going into a building taking their hat off. I kind of disagree with that, but that to me, that's one of those things that you have or you don't. But again, it's not something that you can only be taught by members of your family. I think that's an environmental thing. Being chivalrous is an environmental thing because you see other men doing it.
I don't even expect it at this point. I'm always kind of shocked when a man does certain things.
I'm like, oh, for real? Thank you.
It's so nice.
Yeah. Can a woman?
And she's absolutely right, because by the way, folks, if anyone wants to come up, I dropped a link down in there. You're welcome to come up and join the conversation if you like. As she said, seeing it from my side of the coin, she's absolutely right. When you hold the door open for a woman, it's almost like, damn, where the hell that come from? And sometimes I'll even say, good morning, how you doing? Me, if I pass you in the street, whether I know you or not, good morning, good afternoon, grace a day costs you nothing. Any folks that listen to my radio show, that's how I end it every time I'm on air. The grace a day costs you absolutely nothing. Now, is that being chivalrous, or is that just being courteous? You choose. To me, honestly, I don't see how somebody could walk past another human being and not at least say hello to him. That's the other part of what I say in my nightly closing when I'm on air. You never know when you walk past someone, say what the difference saying hello to someone could make. That person could be having a bad day. Just saying hello, hey, how you doing, might change their entire life look on life. Simple hello, how you doing? It all comes under the umbrella of what these knights were talking about, the codes that they lived by. So it wasn't revamped, it wasn't redesigned, it was abandoned by you gentlemen, not by me, not by my brothers, not by my uncles, not by my younger sons. I didn't have to teach them. If you see your mama with a bag of groceries to go get them, I didn't have to teach them that. It's instinct. My pops didn't have to teach me that when you see a woman, let her go through the door before you. It was just instinct. I just saw other men doing it. And now it's innate in me.
Be chivalry.
No, I think that would be us just being polite, and as I don't know who said it earlier, but somebody said nurturing.
That was bro.
Yeah. You're not chivalrous.
Yeah. I think that's more
like we could be catering. Yeah.
Catering and respectful at least, but like
women have like this opposite thing, which is whatever you call being a lady. Like ladylike when a woman goes to what do they call that, charm school? When you learn how to
Be,
walk,
like etiquette
learn how to,
stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, again, chivalry has nothing to do, and maybe I'm missing the point here, or maybe I'm not grasping it. Maybe it's just me. But again, going back to the origin of what chivalry meant had nothing to do with how women felt, and that's not being disrespectful. It had nothing to do with women. It had everything to do how you conduct yourself as a knight. And again, it was a rarity that you found a female knight. When someone runs into one, let me know. Maybe I missed that part in history class or something. But from my knowledge, most knights, 99.9% of them were men. And this was the code that men followed. It had nothing to do with women. It had everything to do with men. So by saying that women destroyed chivalry, you're saying that women were able to convince you not to be who you were. You allowed a woman to change your identity. No woman can walk up to me and tell me, not even if I was married, and if I saw, and I keep going back to this, keep using this, no woman can tell me not to open the door for another woman, whether I'm married or not, whether I'm dating somebody or not. No woman can tell me not to open the door for another woman. No woman's gonna tell me if I see a woman trying to carry a 50-pound something from somewhere around the house, not for me to say, hey, can I get that for you? I wish my wife would, or my girlfriend would tell me, who told you to help that? Y'all know how sometimes y'all women can be. Who told you to help that bitch? I did. Now you're gonna change who I am because you want to be mad? No, thank you. Chivalry ain't dead. Not everybody they say there's a whole lot of innocent men in jail that's been charged of killing somebody. Well, in this case, it's the same thing. Not everybody in jail committed murder. Not everybody who doesn't practice chivalry is like all other men, because there's more of us out here that commit chivalry, as they say, than those that don't. Those men that complain about it, or those men that you'll find on these panels like this that will give women pushback about what they feel. These are the kind of guys, the angry mans and the DjHamps that killed chivalry.
It's
debutante.
That sort of thing. Yeah, the debutante thing. So women have the opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? It's not opposite, but it's a different thing. You feel me? But nobody really practices most of that anymore. We just have remnants of it, which is why a dude will open the door for you, or you know, if somebody does something to you, your man will be ready to fight him. But that really doesn't have anything to do with chivalry as much as it has to do with his ego. You feel what I'm saying? So
I tried to hold the door for a man, and he literally looked uncomfortable.
Because he was.
He was like, you can go through. I was like, no, I'm holding the door.
You were trying to put him in his soft girl ever, Lauren.
Hey,
did he touch the door at least?
You gotta put him in a soft girl.
He touched the door.
Yeah, he kind of stood behind me and tried to grab the door. He was like, you can go through. And I was like, I'm holding the door for you. And he was older than me.
And I would have said, well, thank you very much, ma'am, but we don't do that around here. I appreciate you, but yeah, go ahead and go on through. End of story. No more conversation. Thank you for offering to hold the door for me, but that's not your place. That's not your place, Miss Lady. Thank you very much. I understand that you're trying to either respect my age or you're trying to be cordial, but thank you. No, that's not your place. Now go ahead and go ahead and do what you do. Thank you for holding the door for me. End the conversation. She'll remember that a whole lot longer than, damn, I had to hold the door open for that nigga.
So I was trying to help.
I love holding the door. I like to see that reaction.
But think about what Yana was saying in terms of chivalry. It's unnecessary because Netflix and chill is acceptable. Smoke and link is acceptable. So the cost is low. The cost is low.
And here we go
access
again.
to women.
Here we go again, looking for examples to why chivalry it doesn't matter. Just because you Netflix and chill, that don't mean that you stop being chivalrous. Not at all. Not at all. What does Netflix and chill have to do with chivalry? What does bumping uglies have to do with chivalry? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's why we can argue that women killed it.
So our expectations have gone down?
Yes.
Shit. Have you ever Netflix and chilled?
No.
It's been a minute.
Bro, you watching?
Like a lot of us have done that in our younger
I'm
years.
engaged. It's been
Have you Netflixed and chilled before? Keep it real.
No. Yes.
I smoked it. No, I ain't smoked it.
Hold on.
That's
Let me
Netflix
just because Ro trying to play semantics. Blockbusters red case was the same thing, bro.
Red box.
Fucking playing.
Red
Like
box and chilling.
you try. Don't do that, bro. You know he got the red Blockbuster tape that had to be back in 23 hours, and you like, damn, you got that one because it was $6, and you was impressed. And he came over there with Chinese food and got busy. Stop doing this shit.
Okay,
stop doing this shit, man. You've been doing this shit all night.
How does Netflix and chill, Redbox, Blockbuster, bumping uglies, how does that equate to chivalry? Anybody? Somebody? How does that equate to chivalry? It doesn't. Has nothing to do with the other. They don't travel in the same lane. Not like that. If you trying to get busy with somebody, Netflix and chilling, okay, all right. It's what they say. That's a kind of a cheap date. But I would venture to say that most women won't accept Netflix and chilling on the first date. And then again, even if you do go on a date, whether it's at her house or at your house, do you stop being chivalrous? Do you, when you sit down at the table, do you not pull the chair out for her so she can sit down? Do you not offer her a glass of wine or something when she walks into the door? Do you not offer her something to eat? Do you not, after she leaves, after your Netflix and chill, do you just let her walk out the door by herself, back to her car, or do you walk her to the car?
Come on, man. Right, Angry Man? Why is she trying to do that? Like, oh, come on.
But, I mean, was that the initial reason that she went over there? Technically, I've never Netflixed and chilled. I mean, I've happened to go to someone's house and we happened to watch Netflix and make him chill.
See, this is why I tell younger dudes.
The text wasn't like, "Hey, come over and let's Netflix and chill." So
this is why I tell younger dudes.
And then that happened. That was the plan. That's the plan.
Yeah, that was my plan too. If I'm gonna come over your house, at what time? 11? Oh,
yeah, y'all was copping that Blockbuster, that red.
I'm not even. You don't even.
All right. Please don't go down the rabbit hole. Go ahead.
This is why I tell young dudes never to present it that way, because what y'all are listening to right now is called plausible deniability.
Huh?
Like they don't want it to seem like it was a plan that you ended up clapping them cheeks. So basically it's like, oh, it just happened. I didn't know, like we were hanging out and it just, we were watching a movie and it just happened.
I have no idea what you're talking about, sir.
Right. I don't either.
You know exactly what I'm talking
about. What part of this conversation has to do with chivalry? Again, it's that, what did they use over there? SBE, shame, blame, and explain. First, let me shame you women. Let me blame you women. And then let me explain to you why you women are so wrong about why chivalry is or isn't dead. This is why chivalry is dead, because you got niggas like that. That's why chivalry is dead, because you got niggas like that right there that think you know what he's talking about. But if we ain't even got to the good parts yet.
Huh?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
So if women killed chivalry, but yet all we do is go learn how to be wives, how does a man not being chivalrous I just don't understand how we got to access to a woman. Like, we're not talking about sex. We're talking about just being them being well mannered and being respectful of women. We're talking about being respectful of women. We're not talking about people trying to get cheats, right?
Well, Coach Tay, the definition which you guys gave, we didn't accept that definition. So you saying a man opening the door makes him chivalrous, I think the definition is deeper than that.
Right,
but nobody
of a chivalry.
you said something about manners.
I mean, technically, I wasn't asked, but you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
But most people today don't really have manners at all.
Can I, excuse me, I'm sorry, real quick. The original question to Angry Man from his super chat.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that question was ever answered. I want to know, Angry Man, how do you exhibit, shoulder. Yanni, you gotta cover your shoulder up, I guess. How do you exhibit chivalry? Or no, okay, do you? And if you do, how do you exhibit it? And how do you present that or perpetuate that on your platform to other men?
Okay, before he answers that, ladies and gentlemen, remember Hamp said the definition that the ladies gave of chivalry, right? Or being chivalrous. Courteous, gallant, especially towards women, typically used of a behavior. Are either one of these gentlemen right now being chivalrous towards these women? I'll read it again. Courteous and gallant, especially towards women. Here's some synonyms of it. Gallant, gentlemanly, honorable, respectful, thoughtful, considerate, protective, attentive, courteous, polite, gracious, well-mannered, courtly, mannerly, and gentle. That is the definition of chivalry or being chivalrous. There's no other definition that you can go to. You might skirt around it, or you might think you know what you're talking about, Angry Man and DjHamp. But let's go to the real definition of it. And I just read it to you. I showed it to you earlier.
How do I present chivalry to my wife?
Okay, or random women, like women. How do you present chivalry to women? You can include your wife if you like, but even when women out in society, if you do, and then if you do show chivalry to your wife or to women out in society, how do you explain and talk about that on your platform to the men that follow you?
You see what she's saying? She's like, how would you tell a man how to be chivalrous? Because she's going, remember when she was talking about the platform on 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Like, how would you?
Okay. If any of y'all ever been to an Angry Man stream, if any, I have, you know I have. Is anything about any of Angry Man stream would you consider being courteous or chivalrous towards women? Or would you find it just to be just the opposite? Cantankerous? Or would you find it to be obtrusive? Would you find it to be obtuse? Would you find it to be demeaning in some cases towards women? I think if I got a poll and put that poll up and put what would you think about Angry Man's channel, a lot of folks would come up with those answers that I just gave you. Chivalry would not be one of those ways to define Angry Man's live streams. Not at all.
You convey this message to men learning to be chivalrous.
If you want to do it to your mama, don't do it to me.
Well, number one, love. I'm not a 100% chivalrous man. I'm not a total gentleman. I'm also a street nigga. So I'm not, it's certain shit I'm not gonna do. You feel what I'm saying? Like, so I can't consider myself to be a gentleman because I curse. You feel what I'm saying? But if you're asking me how I, you know, express that sort of thing towards my wife,
yes.
If we go shopping somewhere and we come out of the store and it's raining, she waits there, I go get the car and I come back with an umbrella. Or if we're going into a store, I open the door for her. Like, if somebody was to be crazy enough to do something to my wife, I'm gonna probably damn near kill him.
And see, if you would have just left the first couple of answers that you gave, if you would have left well enough alone, you wouldn't have got anything. We would have glossed right over that. But again, you go from chivalry to protection mode. But you're going to hear him a little bit later on trying to remove chivalry from masculinity.
So like, is those type of things. Now, as far as me teaching other men, like, look, I'm not gonna tell a grown man something that he should already know. Like, I'm not gonna tell. I might talk about it in passing if I'm doing a show and I just happen to mention it. I might say, well, yeah, you're supposed to stand on the side where the cars are at, and the woman's supposed to be on the inside so that, you know, you can protect her or whatever, or some shit like that. Like, I might mention it in passing, but, you know, it's certain things that I was taught growing up by my father and my uncles, and these niggas' fathers and uncles should have taught them that shit. Because a lot of these grown men, like, you can't, if I start going down that rabbit hole, then I instantly turn into Derek Jackson and they don't want to hear nothing I gotta say.
He was a faker, though.
So when it comes, say what?
I said, but Derek Jackson was a faker. He was a poser. And so if you really are chivalrous in what you exhibited, say you exhibit with your wife, is chivalrous. So you're not being a poser like him. And so what I'm asking you is because you have this large platform a lot and a huge following.
Mm-hmm.
So you do have men that follow your lead. You have fans. Mm-hmm. And so as a result of you having fans, when chivalry does come up because you exhibit chivalry to your wife, how do you talk about it to the men that follow you and look at you as an example? Yeah, you keep on saying people have.
And Miss Lovejoy, you're absolutely right. And that's a good example of it. You know, since they like to talk about, you know, the gangster guys sometimes, that's a perfect example of it. You know, Bumpy Johnson, what's the guy's name? Even in Training Day with Denzel Washington, they always looked out for the women. Even in Italian mobs, women and children were off limit. You didn't joke around about their women. You didn't joke around about their children. That was completely off. That was not a subject that those men talked about at any time. Same thing with the knights. There was not a reason for men to have to defend their women at those point in time, because chivalry is something that you cannot be selective at. Either you are or you're not. You can't just be chivalrous towards your wife and leave out the rest of the world, angry man. That's crazy for you to say that, especially like the lady says, you have a huge platform. As what I saw, you have over 600K followers. The other night when I was looking at your platform, there was about 1,000 people in there. So let me do the math right quick, like folks. All right, let's do this. This is why Angry Man can get away with some of the things that he says about it. Let's do the math, okay? You have 600K followers. 1% of 600K is 6,000 people. So that means on any given live stream that Angry Man does, there should be at least the minimum of 6,000 people in his stream. He has less than 1%, less than 1% of 1% of people that listen to his stream, according to the large platform that he says he has. So why would he talk about chivalry? Why would he talk about anything else? Why would y'all expect that of the angry man? Because he has no idea what it is. He just told you he's not a gentleman. He's selective about how he treats women. And you see that on his panel. You see that here.
Should have been told by their dads or their uncles, but they weren't.
He said it though, right?
Well, here's the thing about it. Most of the time, what I spend my time doing is teaching dudes masculinity. I'm not gonna show dudes chivalry if they don't already know masculinity. That's like trying to get a dude. That's trying to explain to a dude why he should be wearing a tuxedo and he don't even know how to tie a tie. So like, I'm not gonna.
Folks, again, did that make sense? Did that make any sense? That you try to remove chivalry from masculinity. I'm not going to teach a man masculinity. I'm not going to teach a young boy chivalry if he's not masculine already. Well, what the fuck is a knight? Can you think of anything more masculine than that? So who killed chivalry? Niggas like that. Women still expect men to act the way I act. Women still expect that. That's an expectation of a woman. If you see me carrying something heavy, as a man, I expect you to carry it. If you call yourself a leader in the community, and you're a man in the community, if you know I'm struggling, I expect you to rally the community around me and my children to help them. Because those were some of the templates of being chivalrous. There is a model for this, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you choose not to follow the model, angry man, that's on you. If you choose not to follow the model, DjHamp or any other man, if you choose not to follow the model, what it is to be a virtuous man or a chivalrous man, that's on you. But don't say chivalry is dead. If it was dead, I wouldn't be talking to you.
You sound real quick. So you said you do teach men masculinity. You said you do teach them masculinity. So is chivalry a part of masculinity?
Chivalry, masculinity is the cake. Chivalry is the icing on it.
So can you have the icing?
You said what?
The fuck is that about? Masculinity is the cake and chivalry is the icing. What's up there? Narratives and dialogue. Salute to you, good brother. Let that sink in for a minute. I want you to hear that again. Let me back this up just a little bit, okay? I want you to hear that. What's the question that she asked? Let me back it up just a little bit here.
Here's the thing about it. Most of the time, what I spend my time doing is teaching dudes masculinity. I'm not gonna show dudes chivalry if they don't already know masculinity. That's like trying.
He says he's not going to show dudes masculinity. He's not going to show dudes chivalry if they don't already know already be masculine or whatever. Okay, again, chivalrous. To be chivalrous. Let me read this again. Chivalrous is an adjective to courtesy, okay? Courteous, gallant, especially towards women, typically used of a man or of his behavior. So how can you teach masculinity without including chivalry? Again, do I need to read the synonyms? Gentlemanly, honorable, respectful, thoughtful, considerate, protective, attentive, courteous, polite, gracious, well-mannered, urbane, courtly, mannerly, gentle. Which part of those definitions, those synonyms would not coincide with being masculine? How can you teach one without the other, incorporating the other? I'm going to teach you to be masculine, but I'll be damned if I'm going to teach you to be courteous. Damn if I'm going to teach you to be chivalrous. I'm going to teach you everything what it is to be a man. Hey, Shar, how you doing? How you doing, Shar? Welcome. Come on in. Again, folks, for those of you, I don't know how to pin the StreamYard link, but there it is again. And for any of you that's welcome to want to join me here. We're about a little way halfway through this. I didn't mean spending this time, but I didn't know I was going to chop it up this much about this Yasabal shit going on here.
To get a dude that's trying to explain to a dude why he should be wearing a tuxedo and he don't even know how to tie a tie. So like, I'm not gonna.
I got a question. You slow down real quick. So you said you do teach men masculinity. You said you do teach them masculinity. So is chivalry a part of masculinity?
Chivalry, masculinity is the cake. Chivalry is the icing on it.
So can you have a complete cake without the icing?
You said what?
I said, can you have a complete cake without the icing? Don't you?
We gotta bake the cake first. Like, I'm still trying to show dudes basic masculinity. Like, I still get, look, when I say I'm trying to show, what I mean is when I talk about certain things that deal with masculinity.
Basic masculinity is teaching your young son to go to the bathroom, to stand up and pee. That's basic masculinity, angry man. But let me ask y'all something. So far, for those of you who've been here since I started, have you heard angry man mention his sons at all? At all during this stream? I know he has children. He's more concerned about teaching other men masculinity than he is to teach his own children. He's absolutely right, Narratives. You can be masculine on the outside and be very much bitch made on the inside. I understand exactly what you're saying. You can be the loudest mouth in the room. People think you tough until it's time to squabble. And then the loudest mouth in the room is the mouse. It's the mouse in the corner. Is that what you're trying to say? I do believe so.
Masculinity. A lot of times I get pushback. So that lets me know that dudes are not feeling what I'm saying when it comes to that. So we haven't got to the chivalry point. You feel what I'm saying? We're still at the dudes don't even want to go on a dinner date. They want to go on a coffee date. So I have to go through that. I have to talk about those things before I get to that extra stuff. Like, that's not the biggest issue at the moment. The biggest issue is not chivalry at the moment. The biggest issue is basic masculinity.
Yeah, but
no, and there's no yeah buts in there. That's bullshit. That is a completely bullshit answer right there. Basic masculinity, like I said, is teaching your son to go pee. That's basic masculinity. Again, I read the definition of what it is to be courteous, what it is to be chivalrous. So with all those synonyms and that definition that I read to you, how could you refuse to include chivalry in your definition of masculinity? A man should be chivalrous in his masculine form. That's damn sure. Yeah. I don't. Maybe again, folks. Can y'all show me a gay knight? Could y'all show me a knight with a bent wrist?
But love, if he was articulating it, he did give an example. He said, if you do something to his wife, you might damn near die. Men understand that.
Right.
You know what's ill though about that also, love, and you could jump right in. And angry man, you may have seen this before. I think I've said it where, they use the term crash out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they say, nigga, that's simp shit. Even when it come to your wife.
Yeah, they crazy. They bugging.
That's weird.
They bugging. Because it not only when a dude disrespects your wife, He's not only disrespecting your wife, he's disrespecting you too.
But angry man, that's part of what you say over there. Men should not listen to women at all. Men should not throw themselves in the throes of a woman that's having a problem with another man, because you don't know what she did or what she said to piss that man off. I heard you say that on a number of occasions, and you're absolutely right. Narratives, you cannot, in some cases, you cannot teach an old dog new tricks, no matter how hard you try. And again, like I said, angry man, you have over 600K followers over there. You would think that you would stop talking about the local celebrity gossip and go find some decent information. Because it did not take me very long to debunk everything that you said, either through my words or through just a simple Google search. Nothing about what you and DjHamp said is correct. Nothing. You might as well have scratched that you put out. The angry man had another argument with a panel full of women. That's what that stream should have been named. A bitch session, and not to call the women bitches.
You feel what I'm saying? Because he's basically saying, I can do this to your wife, right, and there ain't gonna be nothing you can do about it. Like, nah, we not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, when you said that you're having to teach men how to be masculine, I'm like, so does that mean that they have more femininity in them, that you have to teach them how to be masculine? Almost like how with women, when they're overly masculine, it's like you have to kind of bring them back to a space of saying they need to have some more femininity, like be in your soft girl era, basically.
No, it's not that the men are feminine. It's that there are certain things that were missing in their upbringing that they're just not aware of. So I'll try to point it out to them. So I'll be like, yo, this is what a man does. Like, for instance, last night I was telling them, basically, we were having a conversation about what a man is supposed to do. And I'm explaining to them that you got to be careful with that, because people will manipulate you based upon what a man's duty is. So a woman might be like, well, you're supposed to do this and you're supposed to do that. And then you go do it. And then she says, well, he did it because he was supposed to. And dudes will be happy with that pat on the head. It's like,
again, angry man, that's the world you live in. When you do something expecting an outcome, it's almost like having a puppy dog. You know, the puppy dog goes outside to do its business, and when it comes back in the house, it's expecting a treat. And that's basically what you're saying. Since I'm being chivalrous to you, it's the duty of the women to acknowledge that. It's not me as a man just going about my normal day. But once I do an act, women should be there to tell me, to say, hey, you're doing a great job. You're looking for a pat on the back for everything you do as a man. And it's almost like a narrative. It's almost like a cult kind of thing. It's almost like they fall into the cult of personality with angry man over there. It's like I heard him say one time, all I got to do is say it, and I'm right. And his audience proves that, because no one gave pushback to him on some of the things that he says. And you know, that's another thing. I was in Big J's stream the other day, and they were talking about incels. The incel does not make sense to me. To go around and calling yourself the involuntary, I'm involuntary celibate. That doesn't make sense to me. Wait a minute. Do you know how many local houses of ill repute there are? That you can get you one for $40, you can get you one for $60, you can get you one for $100. But what they told me is they don't want to pay for it. They just want the woman to bow down to them. That way they can start having relations with women. So you're not being involuntary celibate. It's that you don't want to pay for it, because no one will give it to you for free.
No, you're doing this because you chose to do it. And if you do it from that position and the people say, well, you know what, I'm grateful that he did XYZ, that's gratitude as opposed to entitlement. So most dudes might not make that connection. And so a lot of dudes can get manipulated into, you know, being what is really a simp, which is a dude who is obligated to do a bunch of things, and he never gets any recognition for it, or he never gets any respect for it. You feel?
See, there it goes again, looking for recognition. All right there, narratives, I'll do just that. You know, and you're right about that. It's just Pearly Things came over there and took the manosphere by storm, didn't she? And the more popular she got, narratives, the shorter her skirts got, the more thighs you saw. That's what the lure of the anger, that was the lure of the manosphere. They thought they might have been the one that she chose. I sure will, my man. I'll go over to your. I think I'm follow. I'm not. In fact, I know I follow you on your channel. If it's not behind the locked door, then I'll definitely check it out. I sure will. Again, the link's down there if you want to come up and chop it up on this. I guess a little bit over a quarter way through with this. I didn't mean to keep you folks for as long. I thought it was just going to be a quick rant over here, but it's hard to sum up a rant about the angry man and some of the stuff that, to me, DjHamp lets these guys get away with over there. And it just end up some balance to it.
Which is what most of the dudes now is complaining about. Why am I do all of this if I'm not going to get no respect or no recognition?
Isn't
respect is something that's earned, it's not given. Recognition, again, if you do something for recognition, it's called a job. You get a paycheck for that. That's how they recognize you, for your good job, for promotions. Being a man, walking up and opening up a door for a woman, you don't need no recognition for that. You don't need as a man, you don't need recognition. Hey, honey, I bought some groceries home. I put some bread in the cabinet. I bought some pork and beans. I bought some rice. Isn't that nice? Pork and beans and rice tonight. Need recognition for that? You don't need no recognition to do what you do as a man. Right, as that Candace Owens, but from what I understand about her, is getting off. I was going to do something on her next week. There, narrative. So I wonder how she's going to slowly but surely slide her way back into the black community now that white America is done with her. She found out just how dark skinned she was just over the last couple of days, hadn't she? And then on this stream, Angry Man, you find out just how wrong you are about chivalry in this stream, haven't you? I hope you listen to it. I know you do. I know you check out from time to time. I know you go back and adjust to some of the things that you hear me say. I heard you, you might have been referring to me one time when you said those folks that come over there, they're true fans. No, you don't have to be a sycophant to correct somebody. No, you just put out wrong information, bro. And there's got to be a voice of reason out here. There's got to be somebody out here that's not looking for fame, that's not looking for, a pat on the back every time he says something, because this is not, as with you and me and you, we're different. You go from live stream to panel to panel. You got to be seen. You got to have your face plastered everywhere. You got to be everywhere. That's not me. Now, if you want to come over to my radio show, I play all the damn music you want to hear. But for someone that says they got 600 and some thousand followers, and when I go into your chat room, I see 800, I see 700, I see 900. Again, that is nothing to be bragging about. Less than 1%.
Isn't that the stereotype for husbands?
Yeah.
So do you think there's truth to married men being the ultimate simp? If the return is not, because it's not, the sentiment is it's not equitable.
No, because that's a slippery slope. Because the problem is, a lot of times when people are describing what a simp is, they're describing how the woman interacted with the man doing what a man does. So like if you're, let's say for argument's sake, Hamp,
okay, folks, I'm gonna try and explain what these guys think a simp is. They say a simp is somebody who capes for a woman, that does things for a woman and doesn't expect anything in return. That he will agree with the woman just because he thinks somewhere along the line he might be able to clap them cheeks. That's their idea of a simp. So they try to put married men in that category of being a simp. Fuck responsibility. Fuck, that's the nature of things. You're a simp. And you're right, the narratives. I'm not afraid to talk to these guys. I noticed, I know they've heard me talk about them, BGSs and a few of the others. I know they have, but I noticed they never come back to me with any answers. It's not that I'm the Cat Williams of the internet, of the black spaces, but just like Cat Williams, I'm not gonna tell you no lie. I come with receipts. I come with proof. If I'm talking about something, I already did my research on it. Right, sure. Paying your taxes. A house must make you a new car makes you a simp. Having nice furniture makes you a simp. All of these things they say that men do, all for the sake of clapping some cheeks, makes them a simp. Damn about your legacy. Listen, is it my fault that she realized that she could get these things from you, but the promise of saying that she was going to give you some? Is that our fault? Huh? Is it our fault that you turned out to be a buster? That's not a simp. That's a sap. That she saw that if I just tell him I'm going to give him some, or give him a hint that he might get some, I can get anything I want out of him. That's not being a simp. That's a sap.
You buy your wife designer bags, right? Mm-hmm. But she never asked for the bags. You just did it because you wanted to buy her something nice or whatever. And she's like, oh, I appreciate it. My husband is such a good man, blah, blah, blah. Most dudes are not going to look at a man.
You said paymaster. You're absolutely right. That's what I haven't heard that. I had to stop it because I haven't heard that in a while. That narrative, sapsucker. You ain't nothing but old damn sapsucker. You sure you're not from my area?
And like that, like he's a simp, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if the dude does it because his wife is demanding it, then they're gonna say, oh, he's a simp. You see what I'm saying? So what they're doing is they're judging the man. So you could literally have a man that's just a good man, but because his wife doesn't appreciate what he's doing, dudes will fall back and say he a simp. But you're judging the man off of her behavior. You feel?
No, they're not judging the man off of her behavior. They're judging the man off his behavior. And again, he's not a simp, he's a sap. Because you don't think that woman realizes that, again, all I got to do is put on something nice, something tight, something kind of revealing, and I can get anything I want out of him. I can hurt him. It's anything. I can get anything I want out of him. He a sap. Sucker, all day sucker. Lollipop. And then Lil Wayne made that song, the lollipop. All day sucker, waiting for the rapper to come up off his head. So this is this is the life that these guys live. Because notice, he's comfortable speaking this way. These are the things that I point out about the angry man. These are the things that matter. That's what you point out about angry man. There's a few other LLTV that point out these things about angry man. What's his name? Grandmaster Troll points out these things about angry man. Notice, this is the comments. Have you ever seen angry man? You know why? Because folks are letting him talk. Heaven forbid that he's not the center of attraction. I got another clip. If y'all want me to continue, I got another clip of him and Tommy Sotomayor acting like two bitches.
What I'm saying, when he's just doing what he does, you feel me? So that's why I say that's a slippery slope. You feel me?
Yeah.
Do y'all care what other men think about y'all, like as far as calling you a simp?
Yeah. Yeah, because it like when it comes to the way men relate to one another, we could act like it doesn't bother us, but it plays a role, because like part of manhood, especially when it comes to doing what you're supposed to do, part of the checks and balance.
Well, let me speak for the record here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I could give a damn what the next man think about me. He ain't feeding, he ain't fighting, and he damn sure ain't fucking. So what would I give a damn about what the next man thinks about me, what his opinion of him is of me? The old adage goes, everybody that got an opinion, they're like assholes and they all stink. If you run around your life giving a damn about what somebody thought about you, your life would be in a state of chaos at all times, because you worrying about what narrative's thinking about you, you worrying about Shaw's saying about you, you worrying about what Gigi's thinking about you, you worrying about what music's thinking about you. If you gave a damn about what everybody thought about you on a daily basis, your life would be literal in shambles, would have to be. You have no self-esteem. Angry man, if you gave a damn what I thought about you, you would have been answered some of my questions. Seems to me the only time you give a damn about anything or anybody when they come after your stream directly or they tag you in a public forum. The link is down here. You can come talk to me anytime. Matter of fact, we don't even have to do it on YouTube. We can go to a platform where it's completely uncensored. And we can chop it up for as long as you want to. If you hear this, let me know. sarge.sl61@gmail. Here's my email address. Brother, if you care to join me in a round of what the fuck you talking about? But folks, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna stop this clip here and we're gonna go to this next clip, all right? This next clip here, I got a little time, I ain't got nothing to do. I got some family here, but we won't have dinner here for another hour or so. So I think I got time to run through it. So this next clip, it says, love lets Tommy know what time it is. Dana and the angry man have it out. This was a guy that was just trying a little while ago, trying to explain to you about chivalry. Just a little while ago. This was a guy that was trying to explain to you about chivalry. Okay? Let me go pull this up. Matter of fact, y'all, look at the rest of this while I go and pull this up right quickly.
This come from other men talking shit to you because you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So it's kind of hard to have that and not have the other. You feel me?
Gotcha. So angriness, does that make you less of a man if you a simp?
It does amongst other men.
It don't sound
that
like
means you care about what a man think.
Married and be a simp. That doesn't make sense.
It don't make sense at all.
Yeah, I feel like you can no longer be a simp once you marry, because regardless, I mean,
let's be real about it. Women do the same thing on the opposites. They call wives pick-me's.
Well, yeah, they can pick me for sure. To be married, hell yeah. I don't care.
No, they're not.
You if think
That's the definition of that.
think about the
That's
word.
not
So
to understand the definition of a pick me.
well before we go there, right? In
Oh,
terms
sorry.
of a simp, it's all good. But in terms of a simp, right? There's not equitable return, right? So if she's saying, "Nigga, buy me this bag," and you running out buying bags, and as long as she happy, you straight, regardless of what you get back, married or not, you can qualify for that for this Urban Dictionary definition of simp.
So he's not masculine anymore.
He's folding.
Yeah, it never was. Never
So that's
was,
what
man.
you teach men like that who are simps in terms.
Listening to our show last week, because I'm not going to roll around in the mud because you like doing that. You like wrestling. It's like you don't wrestle in the mud.
Just
You
ask
like
a
doing
question. So after something about math.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it goes this next clip here. Let me go back a little bit and cover what they just said about that. You know, how do we get from chivalry to simps? How does a man, being a married man, taking care of his family, doing what he has to do? Hey, Jalen, how you doing? Welcome. How does a married man become a simp? That's impossible. Now make sure y'all check out my man narratives. I'm definitely going to pull that up, my man. We're probably going to discuss that sometime this week. But let's go with this clip right here. Here is, of course, you see Sotomayor on the panel, the same young lady, Love, that gives them the business every time they come up on this panel. To me, she's quite a very articulate young lady. She asks the right questions, but it seems to me the questions that she asks are so triggering to these dudes that the only thing they can do is resort into name calling. And you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
She won't just ask her question. And
I'm asking you now. So last week when you were watching our show before you came on the panel, could you address any of our points directly to talk to us directly instead of generalizing Black women in America and the ills and whatnot?
Here he
could
comes.
You speak to us or one of them and address any of our arguments that you have heard on this panel.
What is your argument?
Did you hear what I asked you? You couldn't
said, can I speak to y'all individually instead of generalizing? The difference between me and you is I can repeat what you said. You said
you didn't repeat everything I said. I said from last week. So you talking too much. You talking too much.
Man,
I said from last week.
I can hear you. So if you don't know how to keep up with the conversation, maybe you should stop trying
I said from last week, and you're trying to be funny and talk over me, and that's part of your problem. I'm done trying to talk to you. Like you,
I don't have a problem, ma'am. You're the one bothered by me. That's part of your problem. I don't have a problem.
It will never be a good conversation because he's not listening.
What are you trying to ask?
I asked him. I said,
nobody sees what you're doing, ma'am. You're just the only one who doesn't see it.
These are
what are you trying to ask? See, the thing
these are grown men, folks.
Oh my
I
God.
think
these are grown men. This is how he acts everywhere. I don't understand why people have still to this day. I don't understand. Listen, I'm not a Sotomayor fan by no stretch of the imagination, but it's all about money. You're absolutely right. That's why you have these folks up on your panel, because you cannot tell me that this is going to be a good conversation. I'll be that. What's up there? I'm doing great, man. Doing great. But you cannot tell me this is going to be a good conversation.
I think you guys really got to realize that what's the word I like that might resonate? Microaggressions. Tommy, every single one, he not letting it slide. So that's what I'm seeing. I'm serious. Every face. Hold on. Every face.
And narratives. Let me speak on that. You're absolutely right. This is not the first one of this might be risky streams that I've looked at. I've stayed in the clouds pretty much. I may speak to them about something. the first part, I'm just in the clouds listening to these clowns. And you're right. I noticed that DjHamp lets them get away with a whole lot of shit. He really does. He lets them talk a whole lot of shit to these women. And then as soon as some of the women start getting the better of them, then all of a sudden you got to cut them off, or you're wrong about this, or right like what he's doing right now, trying to give Tommy the benefit of the doubt.
You make every time it's like, I'm just trying not to cut you off. I'm just trying not to, he not letting none of that shit slide. So then what happens is you sitting back like he over talking, but he not letting none of it go. So you're gonna have to fight for your space or whatever the case is. If you want,
honestly, I don't even want to fight. I literally am asking a question. In the middle of me asking a question, is interrupting. So I'm asking you, Tommy, please don't interrupt my question right now. Last week,
go ahead, go.
Last week, can you yell at him?
Go. Because I can't. You gonna. This is what I'm not gonna keep I'm not jumping in because y'all gotta be able to do this shit. If I'm not fucking sitting here, so go ahead. Don't keep leaning back. Say fuck.
Okay, folks. Let me liken this to this. I come to your house. Say your StreamYard is your house, and I come and knock on your door. And you open up the door, let me in. Angry Man, a few other dudes are sitting up in there. And while I'm in your house, for some reason or the other, the Angry Man decided, or whoever dude in there decided they want to start talking shit about me. I'm going to do either one or two things. Either I'm going to get up and go, or I'm going to start talking shit back. But this dude says, when you come to my house, you need to fight for your space. They'll never. I don't think they'll ever stop with these. I don't think they'll ever stop with these circle jerks, Shaw. I don't think they'll ever stop with these conversations because, I mean, to be quite honest with you, from when I met Angry Man, when I first ran into his stream, back in 2014, 15, 16, somewhere around in there, on Boss Talk Radio, they were talking about these very same subjects. The only difference is there was no women on the panel. It was just all men talking about the very same thing. So this has been at least 7 years of Angry Man having this same conversation. Sotomayor having the same conversation. These two men acting the same way, but now they got some Sotomayorites and some Angryites, i.e. this dude that they call Trigger Mike.
Tommy, and you fight for the space and have the conversation. Go ahead.
And right, that's another thing they do. I'm sorry, that's another thing they do. If you start getting the best of them, either somebody will end up paying some money to kick you off the panel or they'll time you out. It's all a racket.
You came on the panel. Did you hear any of our individual statements and or that you wanted to specifically address instead of generalizing about Black women?
No, I said it last week and I'll repeat it. I came up because I heard what I was hearing, and the statements I was hearing were general.
Yeah,
so then I didn't respond it generally. I was asked if I wanted to speak, give a comment, and smoke. I said, I'm good at talking. I'm good at soliloquies. I'll do that. That's all I wanted to do. Monologuing. I'm good at that.
So when I gave my answer to Hamp's questions, my answers were different than the others. So I'm asking, or Sis or Tay or Dana, I don't care. Just because I want you to speak directly to us in our conversations, in our statements, and not generalizing. Because I think that that's where the problem lies, and it gets missed because we're getting lumped in with the women that like Cardi B and Sexy Red and whatnot. And that's not even who we are on this panel. So you're losing us in this conversation.
I will answer it. Just say something to me specifically right now. If you're trying to, what you're doing Makes no sense. All you have to do is say something specifically and then ask me what I think.
Well, the answer is no. You answer. You say no. There was nothing that we said specifically.
No, I said you can do that now.
Last
do that
week.
now.
I said from last week. I was talking from last week. That's from last week.
I know, and I answered that, and yet you went back to it.
So from this week. So from this week. Okay. So from this week, did you hear anything before you came on? Because you were in the chat. Did you hear how our sentiments were about what we thought that you wanted to directly address and not generalize about Black women? Earlier today, not yesterday, not last week, today.
When I came on here today, I specifically addressed what was specifically said. I specifically addressed when the lady was calling the man gay, but saying she didn't think it would be offensive. I addressed her directly and said, well, ma'am, if he doesn't like Black women, that doesn't mean he then has to turn to men. He could have turned to any set of women.
So when I was talking about how you came up, you sat there and called us hoes. We sat there and said, you hoes. You never addressed that. And how was that edifying? Because I was asking that question earlier, but you were talking over me. So now that you're listening to me, when you called, if you sat there and said, you hoes, how was that edifying to the conversation? I'm talking to you directly. I'm saying, F Tommy, answer my question directly.
Ask me a question. I will answer it. Don't ask me to remember.
Nigga, you didn't hear what I said. I literally sat there and said to you earlier, I said it to you again. You sat there and said, you hoes, last week. And I brought it again today when you were in the chat. How was that edifying to your conversation to us by calling us hoes and saying you hoes when you were getting frustrated?
Okay, let me ask you a question.
No, answer my question.
You didn't hear what I said. I said I want to make sure I know what words mean. What does edifying mean to you? So I'll know how to answer that.
And see, here's the problem that I have right there. That's why I let this go on for a while. This is the problem that I have. This is what I think it was on Bomb's platform that I was on one night. And I said, to see, this is women. This is why y'all got, when y'all go up on these panels with these men, these so-called scholars, this is why you have to dumb yourself down. Because they want to challenge you to see if you know what you're speaking of. Tommy knows what edifies me because I've heard him use it before. I heard him use it several times, so he knows what it means. So now he's being condescending. So again, I ask your ladies on these panels, why do y'all go up on these panels and subject yourself to this bullshit? When you can hold your own panels, when you can have you can edify your own cause. Because this is what these guys do. If you don't let them in, correct me if I'm wrong, Shar. If you don't let them into your panel, they'll go and make a stream about how women shouldn't be on men's panels anymore. Angry man. Y'all remember, Shar, not to put you on the spot, but y'all remember BGS for Women's panel? You remember that? For those of you who have been around for a while, remember how upset those men got because they would only allow one man on the panel at a time? And remember how mad them niggas got that about 4, 5, 6 of them went back that same night and made live streams about why women should not be allowed on panels because they didn't allow us to come up on theirs. All they want to do is talk shit on us. That was the beginning to me, from what I see in the YouTube streets from the outside looking in, that was the beginning of the end of the manosphere right there. When women stop allowing men to host these panels and coming up here acting as if they don't know what they're talking about. That was the beginning of the end for the manosphere. Along came Sinji, along came Princella, and along came a few of the other ones. And this is what we have now. You have niggas up on panels still trying to convince women how wrong y'all are about everything. And in essence, these 3 niggas that's up here right now, 4 niggas, excuse me, because I got to include the host in this. Trigger Mike, Angry Man, Sotomayor. Men don't act like this. Correct me if I'm wrong on narratives, but your frat brothers don't act like this. They don't sit around and cluster fucks and talk about how fucked up women are all day, do they?
Do you not know what edifying means?
I asked you if you don't want to answer it, and then I'm done.
I'm asking you because you said what it means to me.
Because I wouldn't do it to you. If you asked me to clarify a statement, I would clarify.
You're deflecting.
This is insane. Well, I asked the woman,
edification is the same across the English language. I know what it means and you know what it means. How is that edifying? You sat there and said you hoes. Don't deflect, sir. Answer my question
I
now.
said, what does that mean?
He can't. That's why he did not want to answer that question, because he knew there was no legitimate answer for it, because you do not edify the Black community through your channels. That's why he could not answer it. That's why he wanted to continue to argue with her. That's what they do. Deflect, deflect, deflect. You know what edifies mean. You know what it means to edify your community. You know exactly what it means, Sotomayor. You're not stupid.
You don't know what it means, then I don't have an answer for edifying.
No, you know what edifying means.
You
know what
if I don't know what the word
your
means.
vast vocabulary, sir. You know what edification, edifying means.
So
Your vast vocabulary. You sat there and made fun of people mispronouncing words. Now all of a sudden, now you don't know what edification or edifying means. Now you don't know what it means. This is interesting to me.
But for the sake of the discussion,
No, angry man, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Tommy. You know what edifying means, and how is edifying?
Okay, first of all, see,
angry
now,
man, I'm not talking to you,
now
angry
you're
man.
doing it to me.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking.
Okay, the angry bird, y'all saw him chomping at the bit. He couldn't wait to start swinging on Tommy's nuts. Edify. What does it mean to edify? Edification. To instruct or improve someone morality or intellectually. So Tommy Sotomayor, or Angry Man, do you feel that your streams edify the Black community? Of course you know what it meant. That's right, he was chomping at the bit. He couldn't wait to get into that conversation. Move over, Tommy, I got it. He couldn't wait to start screaming at these women. He could not wait. It was bothering him that his hero, this dark-skinned nigga without a cape, was being assaulted by one of these women. And he had to jump in and save Sotomayor.
To Tommy. I'm talking to Tommy.
I was added to.
Hey there, Miss Not For Everyone. How are you?
The panel, not to sit here and look pretty.
But I'm not talking to you. I'm asking Tommy a direct question as he asked me to.
See what edifying means. So we don't need to talk anymore.
No, angry man, no, son. No, son. You're not doing this. I wasn't asking you a question. I asked Tommy a question, and he knows what edifying means.
The word meant.
Tommy, hold on for a second.
You know what edifying means.
Hold on for a
I'm not
second.
gonna sit there and play these little dumb little games with you. Your vast vocabulary. You just made fun of us saying we don't know English and we don't know math.
Hey there, AB. How you doing? Good to see you. Welcome in. Well, we're chopping it up here a little bit, folks. Again, you see, instead of getting to the core of what they're talking about, these guys would rather sit back and forth and argue with these women back and forth about what the word edified means, instead of just saying, you know what, hold on just a second, Miss Lady, I'm not sure of what you mean, so let me go look it up. It's quite an easy thing to do. Wouldn't y'all say so? It would be quite easy to pull up. Excuse me. Well, let me show you how easy this is. Hey Google, define edify.
Instruct or improve someone morally or intellectually.
See how that was? And the conversation could have moved on, because this what men's do. A real man, a real scholar, a real person, a real intellect understands that they do not everything. Now, if you were legitimately not knowing what the word edify meant, that was an easy fix. Absolutely. They could have, even though their definition could have been wrong, they still could have gave a definition, but instead, narratives, what did they do? They decided to sit up here and argue with these ladies.
Now all of a sudden, now you don't know what edification means?
check this out.
Angry man, I'm not talking to you, angry man. I'm not talking to you, angry man. I'm not talking to you. But yeah, go ahead and let your boy fight for you. That's what you're doing right now. You let angry man deflect because you don't want to talk about answer my question directly that I asked. It's all good. Just take that.
Look at them. They look like two children in a crib or in one of those security behind two security gates, screaming to their mama, "I want to get out. It's my turn. I don't want to sit in the back seat. Don't talk to me like that." Look at the looks on these niggas' faces. And she's just smiling. She's just smiling, just knowing that she already got them.
Take that L on the chin, bruh. Take it on the chin. You got your cheerleaders coming on the panel now fighting for you. And now angry man playing into the angry. Be angry all you want. I'm not talking to you.
Look
When
at
it's
this
your turn,
bullshit.
I'll address you directly. But right now, I ain't talking to you. I'm
Look at this
talking to
bullshit.
Tommy.
You don't want to be generalized, but you're acting like every black woman ever is.
No, I'm not talking to you. I'm being direct like Ham told me to. I'm not talking to you.
So this sand nigga know every black woman on earth. This dude with the baseball cap and the red beard knows every woman on earth. The judge, who's generalizing now? She clearly spoke to you, angry man, says, "I'm not talking to you. Stop swinging on your boy's nuts." She was talking, she wasn't speaking in generality. She was speaking directly to you. But when you came out and said she just acting like every other black woman on these panels, not every black woman acts like this. Not every black woman acts like her, because I'm sorry to say, some black women will get on these panels and cower down to you. Some of these black women will allow you to scream at them. This is a case of instance where this black woman said, "And not today, angry man," and you don't like it, and it's showing. Look how you insulted my ear, and look at your man Trigger Mike down in the corner over there. Look at your boy Hamp. Y'all don't like it.
And are you mad because you're not getting ignored right now? I'm ignoring you, sir. I wasn't talking
Shit like
to
that.
you.
Shit like that. Shit like that.
I'm talking to Tommy. I'm talking to Tommy.
Why are you hollering?
You
Why are you hollering?
literally cannot.
Go back on mute, sir.
Did you
Sir,
just
go on
ask
mute.
me
I
why
wasn't
I was
talking to you.
hollering after she just did that?
I don't care what Dana asked you. I ain't talking to you. It's Tommy and me talking right now.
ask me why
I
I'm
don't care.
hollering after
No,
she
son.
did
That didn't open the door for you. You can still go back on mute. I ain't talking to you.
Literally just
go on
asked
mute.
me,
I ain't asked you nothing.
why am I
I
hollering
ain't asked you
when
nothing.
she's behaving
I
like
ain't asked
that?
you nothing. I ain't asked
Why
you
didn't-
nothing.
Even like
why
what? I
didn't
asked you, why are you hollering?
Why
Why are
didn't
you
No
hollering?
one's talking to you.
her about her behavior?
No
Why are
one's
you
talking to
hollering?
you.
My behavior, I'm
Anybody
still-
talking to
why
you?
are hollering?
But
Why
go
are you
ahead.
hollering?
I'll let you let Dana deflect. Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to talk so bad and Tommy don't know what edifying is? Go ahead and be great. Y'all illiterate niggas.
My
right now.
behavior. Why
She's
are you
acting
hollering?
like a elementary school child right now.
Oh, really? Who's acting like the child? Did you just say that to me? And it was a legitimate question. What you hollering for? What you screaming about? What's the purpose of all this damn screaming? What's all the clowning and yassabossing that you doing up here? What is it about? Because somebody asked Sotomayor what the definition of edify was, and that got you that upset? Let's take it back to its smallest thing. That's what you got upset about? Or was it because you wasn't getting no attention and you were just chomping at the bit, hoping somebody would talk to you? Because like I pointed out in that last stream, notice how calm you was when you were the center of attention. But when you're not the center of attention, this is what you get.
Why are you hollering?
Are we all illiterate niggas? I'm just curious.
They're gonna do that, bro.
I wasn't talking to you.
Are you
Just making sure. You said illiterate niggas. I was just making sure. I was
Angry man and Tommy.
Hold on.
You want to get into it? You want to get into it? You want to jump into it?
Hit dogs will holler on it. When she said you illiterate niggas, every one of them got mad, didn't they? So hit dog will holler. So she must be talking about y'all niggas. You must be illiterate, because that flew right over my head, because I knew she wasn't talking about me. And if I was on the panel, I wouldn't have even subscribed to that, because I knew she wouldn't talk about me. I knew for a fact that she was talking about Angry Man. She was talking about Angry Man and Sotomayor. She wasn't talking about you, Trigger Mike. But you had to figure out a way to get in. You had to figure out a way to let me get in on the women bashing movement that's going on in here. I done sat quietly enough. And this is a married man.
Let's be clear. So
they trial. What?
Let me say this, Tommy. I asked in the chat room, is this a closed panel? That's what I asked. In other words, if it's a closed panel, I know I can't come up here. I'm not invited to add my 2 cents. But when the link got dropped and my name was behind it, I said, okay, that must be an invitation. So when I came up here to add to the conversation.
Nigga, you asked, was this an open panel? You asked, could you come up? Basically, you basically said, hey, can I come up there and drop my 2 cents in? Of course, because they feel you have some juice. Hamp gonna say yeah, because what would have happened if Hamp wouldn't have given you that link? You'd have went back to your stream and made about a 5-hour stream about why DjHamp didn't let you up on the panel. He would have been the next enemy, just like you did for everybody else. He would have been the next nigga that ain't shit if he didn't let you up on that panel.
You telling me that I'm a cheerleader of Tommy simply because you think I'm not going to agree with you does not make it so just because you said so. See, if you would have taken the time,
you jumped in unwarranted. I didn't ask you a question. Go ahead, Ham. You can read the super chats. I'm done talking. I got decorum.
If you would have, see, this is what they do. This is what they do. This is what they do when shit don't go their way. They're like spoiled fucking. This is what they do. Now, if she would have shut the fuck up and let me talk, she don't know what I was gonna say. She don't have a goddamn.
And that's chivalry right there, ain't it, folks? I told you, this was a stream just from the other day. Now here he is back on another stream again, trying to tell women that he knows what chivalry is. Oxymoron, don't you think so? Come on. You wonder why folks don't take you seriously, Angry Man? You wonder why folks like me get up there and talk shit about you? Because of shit like this. You make it too easy. You make it too easy for me on a Saturday afternoon that I ain't got nothing to do but sit up here and talk shit. You make it too easy. You filled my afternoon with something to do because it was raining earlier, so I couldn't go out and do what I wanted to do. And I ran across this bullshit. Last week, I don't fuck with the dude. What's his name? General Tito, whatever his name is. I don't go to his stream because I've heard some disparaging things about the brother. So that's what stopped me from doing the live stream about what he did to you. But if y'all haven't seen it, go on over there and check it out. And you're right. He was just looking for that, don't you know how smart I am moment? Don't you know that I'm smart?
Clue.
What you want to say?
But the problem is, this is what the problem is. They do not know how to have a conversation.
The host wants to read the super chat.
They do not know how to have a conversation.
Let
They do
the
not
host
know
read
how to
the
have a
super chat.
conversation.
Show some decorum.
They do not.
Show some decorum, Angry Man. Let him read the super chat, sir.
Know how
he
to have a
asked you.
conversation.
The host.
They
the host
do not know how to have a conversation.
Where's
I
your
don't
decorum?
think he needs you speaking for him.
He put it up here. I'm trying to show decorum.
I don't think he needs
Just
you
like
to speak
Tommy
for him.
speaking for him, but you did.
I don't think he needs you to speak for him.
Neither did Tommy, but you did.
You to speak for him.
Have a conversation.
I wasn't repeating what. Check this out, Donna. Until you check your homegirl over there, shut the fuck up.
No, I will not shut the fuck up.
Her behavior, shut the fuck up. Don't check my behavior. Check her fucking behavior.
I will not shut the
Shut the fuck up. Don't talk to me. Talk to your homegirl. If you can't check your homegirl, don't try to check me.
Let me read what this says here. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can get this full screen for a minute. I wanted to read this super chat right here. Let me see. It says, it is low-hanging fruit to speak against black women. Everyone knows it. Fox News is always waiting on a ninja. I can't see the rest, but you're absolutely right. This is low-hanging fruit. Because we know the most disrespected, and y'all can disagree with this all you want to, I could give a damn less, but the most disrespected human being on this planet is a black woman. From black men, from white women, from everybody. We know that. It's truth. You argue with it all you want to, but all that, if you one of these dudes that want to always run statistics and all of this stuff, statistics speak for itself. Ask Monique.
I don't care how many times you say it. I will not shut the fuck up.
You talk to your. Hold on, Dana. One second. Because these men are talking to females. They're getting out of pocket. They think it's cute. They think it's real cute. Just hold on real quick.
And she's absolutely right. Men, and I say this with all sincerity, men don't speak to women like that. Never have and never will. A man is not going to come out of his character that quick. Not a real grown man anyway. A man is going to show a woman grace, no matter what the situation is. And if again, welcome to come up here and correct me at any time. You're welcome to do a stream on this, Angry Man, to show me where I'm wrong. Chances are, you'll probably call me a simp. Or better yet, somebody will say, oh, he's just old and he's outdated. There's no such thing as being outdated on chivalry. There's no such thing being outdated on decorum. There's no such thing as being too old to be polite. There's no such thing as being too young to be polite. There's no such thing as knowing that you shouldn't tell a woman to shut the fuck up, or anybody for that matter. That's just who you are.
Cute about it. Ain't nobody trying to be cute. If you ain't gonna check her about her behavior, don't be checking me.
My behavior, I have behavior.
Yes.
I said nothing. I said nothing.
Let him read the super chat.
Go ahead.
Got me fucking twisted.
Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Shut the fuck up.
As A with the $5 says, it is low-hanging fruit to speak against black women, and everyone knows it. Fox News is always waiting for a nigga to entertain them doing a jig. Fuck is a jig, Angry Man?
And that's exactly what he's doing. He's up here doing a jig. He's doing a song and dance routine, because we've all seen it from Angry Man everywhere he goes. Every panel that he gets on, as soon as a woman or any other person on the panel disagrees with Angry Man, this is what he does. He goes into that same jig, that same song and dance routine of complete disrespect. I've seen that movie before, Angry Man. Believe me, once you've seen it once, you've seen it a million times, because this is who you are. Because sometimes I question whether Hamp is really as educated as he claims to be, because there's been a few other times that, a matter of fact, someone was on the panel. Matter of fact, I'm not sure who it was. One of the ladies on the other panel said something about Como Sta, and he asked, like, well, what does that mean? The fuck? No, it was some kind of basic Spanish word. He'd read it. He generally didn't know what it meant. So sometimes, like I said, hit dogs will holler. When she said, "You bunch of ignorant idiots," they got upset, didn't it?
That's like a racial term for a black person dancing.
He ought to know.
Savage with the $2.
Your mama.
Love told Tommy she don't look at the chat. Don Dali with the $10. What's popping? If I fuck the name up,
fucking done deal.
Oh shit! That Why you got a 3 in there?
Done deal
that's
123.
Okay.
That.
Damn, you.
Yeah. That clearly that says done deal. Clearly that it's just a 3 that's as a back. I'm sorry, Hamp, but you know, sometimes y'all call Jay Prince stupid, but goddamn, Bo.
You just called her unintelligent. They got you that mad. I ain't used to getting on their head like that, but I am new here. World Clout was popping with the 2000s. Great show. The growth is well deserved. Thank you, my G. I appreciate you. Savage with the $2 says, Love said earlier the violence in the chat. Mills, what's up, boy? With the $2. He said, Love, get at me. I'm in Philly. I travel too. The angry man said, uh-oh, what did I roll up on? I got it now, Mike. Done.
Okay, so there's what he so-called an invite. So now you see that he hadn't been here that long, and the women was talking about something. So he decided to drop a super chat to say, hey, let me up on the panel. What did I roll up on? So he listened for a little while. Then he decided to say, hey, is this panel open? Let me get up here and get at these women folks. That's pretty much it. I guarantee you, if you go back to the chat, and if he didn't take down the chat replay, I guarantee you this is what you'll see. Well, I'm gonna go up there and talk some cash shit. And that's what he's done. That's what he's good at. Talking shit to women. That's what he's good at.
I deal with it. $10 says, I want to hear. See now, Mike, you can't keep blaming me. Look at how this nigga typing. I want to hear. I think it's him and our fault. You feel me? Savage with the $2 says, this stream shows that what the men have been saying. Execution with the $5. What up? He said it's going to be hard to debate Tommy. Y'all bringing slingshots to a bazooka fight. His ability to articulate
what edify means.
His ability to
again, don't that make sense? And I'm glad that the young lady said that. You think I'm worried about debating somebody who don't know what the word edify means? Really? That shows us the stupidity of some of you folks. What's this? The execution? You spent $4.99 for a dumbass comment like that. The nigga don't even know what edify means. So he say, do you think that anybody in the debate circles would worry about debating Tommy? Let me ask you something. For those of you that call yourself, what I want you to do is give me an example. Without looking it up, I want you to give me an example of what a palindrome is, whether it be a number or a word. That's how I'll base on whether I want to talk to you or not. It's just simple things like that. What is a palindrome? Or what is a palindromic number? Trigger Mike? Without looking it up, what is it? That's something I learned in the 3rd grade. What is it?
Articulate clearly throws people off.
No, he asked your dumb ass to answer the question, and then you did the same shit you accused him of.
V Ben Israel with the $2 says the truth is always questioned, but never the lie. Jeremiah with the $5 says, Angry Man and Tommy Sotomayor like caramel on a fudge sundae. Paul.
Yeah, I don't understand where that came from. What the fuck was that about? What grown man types in a chat room, spends $4.99 to say some shit like this? At Angry Man, at Tom TS, they like caramel on a fudge sundae. Impending? The fuck that mean? An impending meltdown? Is that what he meant to say? Maybe he didn't completely type in what he was saying. So I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and think that's what you meant. But listen how these guys go at it. See, there's a difference between how a man thinks and a dumbass thinks. Listen how they think about it.
Pause impending.
Pause.
Definitely.
That's a definite pause right there.
That's crazy.
That was crazy.
I think it's a compliment, but that
and
if you gotta put all that pause shit after Jeremiah, don't type.
Is that
That's homeboy with the hoodie from the
That's
other
a young
day,
boy.
right?
Yeah.
Bruh,
He did it on purpose.
Look, let me say this, bruh. Please don't be thinking about me and Sundays and caramel like at the same time.
And Tommy.
Yeah, don't be doing
But I do
that.
gotta say this. That's why those women are able to constantly throw black men off by saying quasi-gay or insinuating you're gay, because we're so afraid of that title. We're so afraid of being called anything. So that's why they use it. Because we say pause and things like that.
Nigga, I didn't. Y'all did. I didn't say pause. I didn't say, I don't think you typed that correctly. Are you sure that's what you meant? So let me correct you. I think what you meant was angry man, and Tommy Sotomayor is like pouring caramel on the ice cream. Sooner or later, that bitch gonna melt, and it's gonna create an entire mess. That's how men think. Not assuming that the man is automatically gay. That's what y'all ran with. The narrative that y'all ran with.
But that needed a pause, bro. I'm sorry. That was wild.
I wasn't saying that. I'm with you. I paused for a second too, but I still thought about it. There's a reason
Tom,
why
we hate that shit. We hate that shit. Like,
I know there was a reason why in college I noticed white.
I didn't want to say that narrative, but you're absolutely right. Pause means that, wait a minute, that's something that when you're taking a pause or something, that means that's something that resonates with you. Am I correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. When you take a pause or something, that means it's something that resonates with you. That means that's something that you've thought about before. So maybe an action that's happened to you before. Oh, let me pause on that one. Wait a minute now. Either could be a good pause or could be a bad pause. But either way, it's something that's either resonated with you, something you've seen, or something that you've done. Yeah.
People, because you have to check them. White boys play gay and they do gay stuff, and black dudes have to check them like, it won't play like that. But I also noticed they don't have their women sitting around constantly checking their man.
I can't agree with that. I don't see too many white dudes that be playing them games like that. You hang around white dudes like that? I don't hang around no dude that exhibits gay tendencies, as they say. Not me. I don't bring it in front of me.
Because it doesn't affect them.
Hallelujah.
Good point.
Mills with the $2 says, Tommy, can you answer this yes or no? Tommy, do you hate these queens?
Anybody that calls himself a queen, I hate him.
Optimus Prime was popping.
Unless you own land and got subjects, if you work at Walmart and you got all.
So by that same logic, then Tommy Sotomayor, a woman should never call you king again, because you don't have no land and you don't have no subjects. You own a house.
On the peasant's crown, which is a weave, I will not call you a queen. You got on somebody else's crown on your head.
Optimus Prime with the $2 says, Love likes to throw mud and hide her hand. World of Clout with the $2 says, Tommy calling shit out. Done Deal with the $10 says, wow, I thought he. Oh, I got a better wow than that.
Wow.
I thought he was being hard on y'all, but every time he says something, the response starts with shots towards him. Y'all lightweight making his points. That's my last message. Done Deal, I appreciate you, bro. MBK Steve.
So Done Deal, you spent about a total of $20 or so to say that. To say that these women basically should not be in the same arena with Tommy. No, he don't need a sound machine. I agree with that too, Shar. There's just some things, everything that you see other content creators do is not necessary. There's a place and a time for sound machines, and this wasn't it. This again, what points are these women is not making? They asked Sotomayor poignant questions. All they got from Angry Man was an argument. So are they supposed to sit there and let these men belittle them? Is that your argument?
Steve the $2 says, Hemp, best moderator, let them stand on their point.
Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like that. Shit like
Stacy Galore with the $2 says, I can't. Somebody say this.
Woocha.
Trigger Mike with the $2 says, damn, she really don't know what that means.
Exactly, Mike. I was proving my point.
Execution with the $5.
Now, what would make them see? This is again where Trigger Mike came in talking about, well, damn, she really don't know what that means. You up on the panel with the particular woman that you says that you don't know what it means, but instead of addressing her directly, you want to send some money in. So that tells me it's all about the super chats and all about the money, folks. That's what it's all about. Paying to have your words read. Because there he is. Trigger Mike is on the panel. The lady that he says that does not know what edify mean is right above him. Why don't you hold your head up and say, hey, love, do you know what edify means? I'm just curious. Not trying to be like the Angry Man, not trying to be like Sotomayor, not trying to be difficult on the panel, but do you know what edify means? Instead of putting it down in a super chat, trying to embarrass her, your point is not proven.
Execution says, very well played, love. I take no sides. Fan of Tommy, but she got that one. Just answer her question. Viven Israel with the $5 says,
the word means. I don't know if I'm doing that or not.
The
simple thing. I don't know what it means.
The men they want.
I have no idea what it means. So usually, if someone doesn't know what something means, I would just use another word.
The men they want aren't approaching black women due to circular arguments. John,
I'm broke, baby.
John with the 20 boy, he says, Hamp just put a battery in Love's back. Why is she smiling while she's talking? She using slang? World of Cloud with the $2 says, Tommy just exposed Love with a question. The broke genius with the $2 says, Miss Sanders much? Is she married? Lauren Mack with the $5. Lauren, what up? I don't know if y'all noticed, but Love Mike is always on. Joe Pentegard with the $10. Joe says, Love, most of the women on the panel last week said they get approached, but not by the men they want. So there wasn't much left for anyone to ask any of the ladies.
And that's another one of those points that I don't understand why it even gets a second opinion. What does it mean to approach somebody, folks? Walk up to, speak to, talk to. So if somebody approaches you and says, hey, can I get your phone number? What does that mean? It means they want you in some way, shape, form, or fashion, right? So how does that say, what is that? Love, most of the women on the panel last week said that they get approached, but not by the men they want. Well, how do you know it's not the man that you want? Because I'm sure the woman will say, yeah, you know what? No, thank you. And that's where some women feel free to, I got to give this nigga a fake number. But you really can't do that no more because a nigga will tell you to pull out your phone and dial my number in. So women got to be a little bit more creative these days about telling someone, no, I'm not interested. Because I'm sure we as men and you as women get folks that come up to you that may be attracted to you for some reason or the other that you don't feel that same attraction. And there's nothing wrong with that. She's not the one for me. He's not the one for me. Maybe it's something about his looks. Maybe it's something about her looks. Maybe it's something about his size. Maybe it's something about her size. Because believe me, when you first meet someone, folks, one thing, you don't know how much money they got. You don't know where they live. You know anything about them until you sit down and have that initial conversation. So it ain't the money that attracts some people. So it might be the car sometime, but we know that can be a complete fallacy.
Since the question doesn't apply. MC Heavy Tip was popping. This is hello to the chat and panel. Love you, Tommy.
Stop dick riding.
And see, this is another point that I say. When women say that, this is what gives folks like Sotomayor fuel for his fire. When he feels that he has a connection with some of you black women. I love you, Tommy. What is it? What is it about you? What it is that you love about Tommy? What is it about the way he disparages black women that could make you say, yeah, this is a black guy that I would support? You done heard this man talk about his mama? You done heard this man pretty much throw his daughter under the bus. In some cases, you done heard other men throw their daughters under the bus, throw their spouses up under the bus, all in the name of a super chat, all in the name of a cash app. And again, you're right, narratives. I rarely argue with women I know, much less women I don't know. Now, there's a big difference between an argument and a discussion. I would have a discussion with a woman all day long, but I won't argue with a woman, no parts. Two words that'll stop an argument dead in its tracks. You right. What can they say after that? You right.
As A with the final says, Tommy, you on Fresh and Fit, and the white women on there get told they act the same way. You were humble like a cat on there, Tommy.
What's how humble are cats? Because if anybody's ever owned a cat or know anything about cats, cats are stuck up. The last thing that
and see, again, it's not a play on words where some folks try to be, Tommy Sotomayor, what she's saying is you was acting like a pussy and she didn't want to type it. Again, read. You have to read between the lines sometimes. It's quite easy to understand what she was talking about. But your idea of, I got to figure out a way to one-up this woman, you don't think she's talking about a fucking four-legged cat. No. She's saying, when you was over there, them white women were saying all this shit while you was on Fresh and Fit, and you didn't come at them the way that you come at black women. You was acting like a pussy on Fresh and Fit. That's what she's saying. Since you need somebody to break it down for you.
A cat is humble. Again, that's why they should have never get black folks in English. It's like
you
water. They love to say things and they don't know what they mean. Just like black.
See, just like the young lady said, I think she was calling you a pussy. And that's exactly what she was calling you, a pussy. Well, that's about over with that, ladies and gentlemen. Again, to wrap things up here, this guy here tried to tell you about chivalry. This angry man guy here tried to tell you that he knows what chivalry is all about. Gave you whimsical definitions, not even whimsical, just flat out bullshit examples of what it is to be chivalrous. You come back to another stream later on and you see him the way he speaks to women, because I told you earlier, he told you he's not a gentleman. When someone tells you who they are, folks, believe them. When someone tells you that they ain't shit, believe them. When someone tells you what kind of nigga they truly are, believe them. Now, again, I don't know DjHamp from a hole in the wall, but I know one thing for sure. This is a panel that I would never go up on, because the way that the panel is conducted, it's not conducive to having a decent conversation. Because if I went up on that panel, chances are these niggas would be in full attack mode. Calling me simp, calling me old, calling me stupid, calling me dumb, calling me lame, calling me everything except right. Everything except right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna get on up out of here. I got a little some company from out of town here. About to have some breakfast with the little ones. Well, not breakfast, I should say lunch, dinner with the little ones and some family members. So y'all take it easy. Maybe Shar, I know you're down in the listening lounge. We got a thing to do a little bit later on tonight. Folks, y'all check out the channel. Myself and Shar Willie, we're going to get together later on and chop it up about the migrant situation up here. I'm not sure, Shar, if you want to do it live or you want to record it. I think it's the little frills that I want to put in it. I think it's best that we do it live. Thank you, Miss Not for everyone. Thank you so very much for tuning in and hanging out with us. Folks, again, like, share, subscribe. And if you leave me a comment now, make sure they ain't one of them Nastygrams, because I don't run from Nastygrams. I replied to them. Might not like the wait. I like it. I appreciate that. Coffee, be good, man. And you folks have a great day out there. Again, check out the radio station, classic-R&B-jams.com. You like some interesting music. We play variety from 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Check me out live on Sundays and Tuesdays at the Music Cafe. On Tuesdays, we play great music. And on Tuesday nights, we play independent jazz from our groups over there on Facebook. Say It Loud, the jazz group. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, y'all be safe. Remember, grace a day costs you absolutely nothing. Say hello to someone. Might change the way they're thinking. Might change the way they're living. You never know. If you walk past, don't say hello. Y'all be cool.